What's up, YouTube? It is Friday. Another office session, real quick here before I get my workday started. We are going to discuss. Well, I guess we're not discussing. I'm just going to give you my unsolicited opinion on how to have a better fishing trip. Okay, this is really going to be about being prepared. Okay, so tomorrow, let's see, what's the date? It is the 1st. So the 2nd, I am going to fish Lake Berryessa. I was there 2-3 weeks ago. So I kind of have a little idea what was going on then. I know what the weather's been since then. I can check the moon phase, and I will have to do that. I'm pretty sure we're moving away from a full moon. I believe the moon was full last week. So those the jig could play, as I mentioned in one of those videos, that the jig tends to be a little bit better around the full moon. It might be a little too late for that. We'll have to see. It depends on what the fish activity and where they're at, what they're doing. They're moving around. They're at the bottom, all that kind of stuff. So one thing you can do is do a little map study. I still have paper maps that I use, and I'll set them out at the table the night before I go out, maybe 2 nights before I go out, and I'll study the maps. Kind of, check the water level, see where it's at, and then I can kind of go around, scan the maps, and look for things like island tops, banks with the water level where it's at. If it's 30 feet down, it's 30 feet down. I think it's probably closer to 20 if I remember right. Looking at the high water line to where it's at last time. It's pretty good water in Berryessa for this time of year. Look at the conditions. I can tell you I'm pretty excited about it. If the weather report holds and it's consistent, we are going to have overcast tomorrow. It won't be quite as cold overnight. Any moon that there is with the overcast skies should be blocked. So hopefully that leads to a pretty good bite for us tomorrow. I'd like to get on a reaction bite. But that said, I will go out prepared for whatever may happen. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to have rigged. Okay? I'm even going to write them down as we go. First of all, last time the Shaky Head was most productive, right? So we will have a Shaky Head. And this time of year, I'm always going to have a Shaky Head rigged up. Okay? Next, I'm going to have some sort of hover rig. For those of you that don't know what that is, a hover rig, core tackle, C-O-R-E tackle, has a hook where the weight kind of goes down the hook, and then it has a 90-degree line tie like you'll find on a lot of jigs. That is to fish for suspended bass most of the time. Not saying you can't get it down to the bottom and fish on the bottom, you can. However, it's kind of meant for forward-facing sonar and suspended bass. The other bait for that is going to be a rip bait, okay? Whether it's a shallow runner or a deep runner, I don't know yet, and that's kind of going to have to be determined by when we get there and we see what's going on. I will probably rig up the deep runner just because of the time of year. If I have to change it, I'll change it. Crankbait. Just keep it simple. It will be a tactical crank for me, okay? Tighter wobble, semi-deep runner, 15, 17, 18 foot, somewhere around there. And it will be in a bait fish pattern. With the overcast, we're going to have to kind of see if we're going to go reflective or transparent. Jig. Brown and purple. Simple. I love jig fishing. Those of you that have watched my channel for a while know that I love jig fishing. Let's see what else we got. The glide bait. Okay. I'm always going to have a glide bait rigged. I've been painting a ton of glide baits, so I want to test some. And then I also have the new Bait Sanity from Tackle Warehouse that I'd like to mess with. The nice thing about glide baits, you can add some like Nishini weights. You can add some stick-on weights if you want to get them down to a level where they're not normally fished. You can. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, the spoon. Okay. Last time we were there, the fish weren't really set up on the bait. There was bait pods all over the place. They were easy to find. They were shallow. They were deep. They were all over the place. That could have been because we were post front, and it looked like the majority of the fish sucked up to the bottom. Nonetheless, I'm going to go out with a spoon ready to go. I can keep it in the rod locker if I don't need it. We did use it a couple times last time. Caught bluegill on the spoon, so that will be something that I'm looking to be a little bit more of a player tomorrow. Because of weather conditions, the fish should be a little more active. Hopefully they'll be on those bait balls, and if you can get on a spoon bite out at Lake Berryessa, you can have a really, really good time. And it seems like all right, so the Shaky Head and hover rig both be spinning rods. The rip bait, I'm going to throw a 703 Powell cranking rod, which is a fairly limber rod. Crankbait, the deep runner, the tactical will be on a 725 Powell. The jig is rigged on the 703 Powell naked bait casting. The glide bait, I will be testing out. Look for the review on the iRod, large bait rod. Okay, this is what I'm really excited about, because for those of you that want to get into glide bait fishing, even swim bait fishing, they do have some other rods I'd recommend after I test them. I have one for the top hook swim baits. Treble hard baits is the one I'm going to be throwing tomorrow. The spoon will be on a medium heavy, something like a 7'3", 15-pound test, 16-pound, whatever it is, fluorocarbon. I'm not a big drop shotter. Kevin will have a drop shot rigged, so I won't be doing that. Wasn't a big player last time. And a blade bait. For those of you that don't know what a blade bait is, it's a similar profile to a trap, LV 500, that type of bait. If need be, I can switch to that. Typically, if they're on one, they won't be on the other. One's noisy, one's a piece of metal that vibrates but still has the profile. You can spoon them, you can cast them, you can let them go to the bottom, pull them off the bottom, so forth and so on. You can cast and retrieve them. The very versatile bait. Damiki, Megabass, 6 cents in the 6 sack. They included one of theirs this month in that. So these are what I'm going to go out with. No, I don't have an A-rig rigged tied on. I will have a couple ready in the boat. It's really kind of just, I don't want to have a mess of rods on the deck. We will get there and see what's going on. Oh yeah, and hopefully the picture's better today. I had a viewer remind me yesterday to turn the phone sideways, and this is something I knew but I'm in the back half of my 50s, and sometimes we don't remember things very well. Kind of like that dart head in the brush hog, right? All right, folks. Hope you're going to get out and go fishing this weekend. If you're in California, Northern California, it looks like we got a great weather system coming through for it. Get outdoors, enjoy it. Happy holidays. We'll see you soon. Look for that fishing video coming up next week. Those have to be edited. They take a little bit longer, that kind of thing. And I want to start getting back to that, putting out some better quality videos for you. Until then, fish on.